You are the energy that you put out into the world. You are the energy that you put out into the world. I say this all the time. And I have to tell myself this all the time because the truth is I am the energy that I put out into the world. And what does it mean? What it means is if I'm putting out that positive energy, if I'm actually putting maximum effort, if I care about something, about someone, they feel it. You can see it. If I'm preparing a meal and I put nothing but love and energy, I make spaghetti sauce. And when I make my spaghetti sauce, I make it all day. I start in the morning. I pick a certain wine I'm going to use to saute the pan. I finally chop the onions and the garlic, and I take the time to lay out the foundation of the pan and the pot. I then start to get all of the goods that are needed to make the meatballs, to make the sauce. And it takes all day. And by the time that I serve that out, the energy that I've expelled for that meal is significant. And everybody can feel it. Everybody can taste it. I tell the boys all the time, the secret ingredient is love. And when you love something, someone, and you're doing it for them, that energy is always right. Why is energy so important? Energy is so important because when you're talking to somebody, they can feel if you're in it or you're out of it. People like me feel it maybe a little bit too much. If someone's completely not interested, I can find myself shutting down, shutting off, because I know that that person doesn't have the energy to share with me right now. And I feel it immediately. There are days when I come home from work and I know the energy in the house isn't great, or maybe my energy isn't great, and it's reciprocated. These are things that I think so often we pay attention to how we're receiving something. What's the messaging we're getting? What's the deliverable we're receiving? But we're missing the energy that we're outputting into the world. I think another really important thing when it comes to energy is, where do you get good energy from? What are we doing every day that actually provides good energy? I know that I get good energy every day by starting with movement, by starting with a workout. It provides me with a positive outlook, a positive outcome, a positive benefit. I just know that moving makes me feel better. So whether it's lifting weights or going for a walk, going for a run. The other day, I literally sprinted in the neighborhood. I went on a long walk and I sprinted all the in-betweens, and it just gave me extra energy. I hadn't done that in a little while, and I knew I needed to try something uncomfortable. Then I also know that in the mornings, I gain energy from my scripture. I gain energy from my faith. Every time I feel lost or down, I dig in to God and something bigger than myself. Very important to me to gather the right kind of energy. I also find energy in my work. When I'm doing something I love running meetings, leading people, helping people achieve goals, helping some of our clients, some of our advisors actually do something that they never dreamed they could accomplish. Build a bigger business, build a bigger plan, change someone's life. Like, that stuff gives me energy. I find energy in moments in the day, but it's in the process. So often, people are looking for energy in the result. When you're looking for energy in the result, you're often left with an empty tank. And if you look for energy in the process, you're gaining it as you go. It's like going for a long run or a long walk and you get tired, right? And you just happen to focus on something beyond yourself. The blade of grass, the flowers, the trees, the smell, just anything that takes you outside of yourself. And immediately you're rejuvenated. You have a boost of energy. I find when I run out of energy, this is another thing that's really important, and I have high energy. So I often crash at the end of the day and I just fade, and then I crash because the energy I expel is high. I'm intense, I'm passionate, I'm excited. And these are things that you'll often notice those individuals, when they're done with their day, they're just done. But when I find an empty tank during the day, it's usually because I'm lost in my own shit. I'm lost in my own brain. I'm feeling down about something. I'm frustrated that something didn't go the way I expected it to, or I'm disappointed in a result. I'm getting caught up in the result and not remembering what I need to be doing. That's when I always go to the habit of daily impact. And I talk about energy all the time here, because the habit of daily impact is random acts of kindness. It's moments outside of yourself that start to fill that tank up, because the further away I get from myself, the closer I get to the energy I want to be giving the world. When I'm stuck in myself, the only energy that I'm giving the world is me. It's selfish. It's lost. And nobody wants that. But when I go out and I hold the door for someone, I say thank you to someone, I compliment someone, I look someone in the eyes and tell them something that makes them feel good, I get energy increase. I get that gasoline that I need to ignite myself through the rest of the day. And it's so funny that I've built this strategy to be something I actually have to think about and something that I actively do when I'm feeling frustrated. Even picking up the phone, texting or calling a friend that I know is always going to provide me with good mojo. They're always going to give me that good feeling. Every time I talk to this person, I feel good. The who's in our lives are so important to our energy, not just our output, but our input. Who's putting energy into you every day? Who drains your battery when you're around them? These are things I think about. I define. I start every year by doing my 4 quadrants and the high performance life model. And I look at who are the people in my life that provide energy? Who are the people that are taking it out? How can I add more to the people that are putting into me? What are the organizations that I'm a part of that make me have a better scenario, that provide energy every single day? In talking with Simon Alexander-Ong today on the podcast, I just got to the point where I was thinking about energy in general and how often I use it. His new book, Energize, is just making me think about the power of energy in every day. And the energy that I'm talking about is the energy in process, not just the energy that it comes from gaining the best results in life. I find myself empty plenty of times. I find myself needing added energy plenty of times. But when I start to look at the 4 parts of life and I look at the love, when I look at the love portion and I see those who's and I know who to call, how to get the right people, the right circle. Ideas in general have energy when they're around the right people, in the right room. Are you in the right room right now? Are you in the right room where the energy of your idea can take off? I have a friend of mine who's launching a business right now. We've been talking just about every day. He just visited me. We were talking about how to take this idea off the ground. It's giving him energy. It's giving me energy. And I love that. I love that feeling. It's the kind of people you need in your life. Even impact, when I talk about that daily habit of impact, you're talking about things that give you energy throughout the day. My faith, something that always provides me energy. When I'm feeling the most run down, the very first thing I do in my day is there is a Catholic Mass somewhere between 6:30 and 8:30 every single morning, and I find one. And I sit in the church and I go to Mass for 30 minutes and I just separate from myself completely, knowing that there's something bigger than myself, that God will provide, that I will be taken care of. And whatever I'm feeling is about me. I have to get outside of myself. And last is the energy component. I have a component of life of which is just one box that I focus so much time on. And it's a healthy mind, a healthy body, and a healthy spirit. And in order to have a healthy mind, I have to make sure that I'm focused at the right times. When am I best at doing this task? When am I worst at doing this task? When am I going to be the best around these people? When am I going to be the worst? What are the things I need to do as an individual that make me show up? And how I show up is going to be the energy I receive. So that energy is so powerful. That's healthy mind. Healthy body. This is so important. What am I putting in fuel to my body? Am I eating the right things? Am I putting the right food into my body to make sure that I have the result? And when I don't, I know that I made a mistake. And I always identify it very quickly because I just know it makes me feel less energetic. It makes me feel like I don't have what I need. And last but not least is that healthy spirit, that space. Sometimes what I need most is a pause, just a break, just a pullback, a moment of calm, of quiet, of peace, to take chaos to calm. Energy doesn't always have to be amplified at the 10 or the 100 or whatever the number is. Sometimes being calm, collected, quiet can have less intensity, less output of energy, but an amplified, exponential result because you're in the right space. You're in that focus. You're in the zone, if you will. And that is where you get the really good stuff. So just having a conversation about energy today had me sparked, no pun intended, on all of the energy that I use and how I use energy every single day.